Hello, today is April 12th, 2016. We're going to read our verse of the day, which is according to BibleGateway.com. For all have sinned and fallen short of the glory of God, and all are justified freely by His grace through the redemption that came by Christ Jesus. Romans 3:23, 24, New International Version. Okay, so we're going to try and finish up Luke chapter 12. Luke chapter 11. And this is woes on the Pharisees and the expert of the law, in the law. This is verse 37. It says, when Jesus had finished speaking, a Pharisee invited him to eat with him. So he went in to recline the table, but the Pharisee was surprised when he noticed that Jesus did not first wash before the meal. Then the Lord said to them, now then, you Pharisee, clean the outside of the cup and the dish, but inside you are full of greed and wickedness. You foolish people, did not the one who made the outside make the inside also? But now as for what is in the inside, you be generous to the poor, and everything will be clean for you. Woe to the Pharisee, because you give God the tenth of your mint, rue, and all other kinds of garden herbs, but you neglect justice and the love of God. You should have practiced the latter without leaving the former undone. Woe to you, Pharisees, because you love the most important seats in the synagogues and the respectful greetings in the marketplaces. Woe to you, because you are like unmarked graves, which people walk over without knowing it. One of the experts in the law answered him, Teacher, when you say these things, you insult us also. Jesus replied, and you experts in the law, woe to you, because you load people down with burdens they can't hardly carry, and you yourself will not lift a finger to help them. Woe to you, because you build tombs for the prophets, and it was your ancestors who killed them. So you testify that you approve of what your ancestors did. They killed the prophets, and you build their tombs. Because of this, God in His wisdom said, I will send them prophets and apostles. Some of them they will kill, and others they will persecute. Therefore, this generation will be held responsible for the blood of all the prophets, and has been shed since the beginning of the world, from the blood of Abel to the blood of Zechariah, who was killed between the altar and the sanctuary. Yes, I tell you, this generation will be held responsible for it all. Woe to you, experts in law, because you have taken away the key to knowledge. You yourselves have not entered, and you have hindered those who were entering. When Jesus went outside, the Pharisees and the teachers of the law began to oppose him fiercely and to besiege him with questions, waiting to catch him in something he might say. Okay, so I think right here is just basically calling them hypocrites and making them accountable for how they hold other people accountable. And he was basically coming to lay down the law for them because they had taken the responsibility of being the law, and they themselves now are being put on trial just as if they put everybody else on trial. And so I think that was what he came to do, was tell you, you're not all powerful. I gave you the power, and now this is what you're doing with it. You put these heavy burdens on people, and you yourself cannot fill these shoes that you've put on other people. Okay, hopefully that was helpful for you. Tomorrow we'll read Luke chapter 12, warnings and encouragements, the parable of the rich fool, do not worry, watchfulness, not peace but division, and interpreting the times. That's Luke chapter 12. There are 24 chapters in the book of Luke, and we are in chapter 13, so we're about halfway done. So, like I said before, that will conclude all of the New Testament books of the accounts of Jesus, Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John. We did read Acts, and then we're going to go into Genesis, so we'll talk about the beginning of time, and then the Old Testament and the Old Law, and then circle back around to Romans when Paul writes to the Corinthians, the Philippians, the Galatians, and different churches. Okay, hopefully that was helpful for you, and I will see you tomorrow. Please be blessed.